Good morning, friends. Welcome to another class of communicative English. And in today's class, we are going to discuss about the different ways of writing the messages. When I talk about the different ways of writing the message, I'm talking about the context, the content based on which you are going to write the message will be broadly classified into four categories. What are those four different types of messages that are generally presented or prepared so that the person can share the right or relevant information with the recipient? Let us understand about the same in today's class. So when we talk about the business writing or writing business letters, we all know that we are practicing day by day, or we try to improve ourselves in order to communicate very well, so that the gap that is there between the sender and the receiver, or between the recipient or the person whosoever is going to share the information, to bridge the gap, in order to cut short the gap, we try to bring effectiveness in our writing skill. And for that, we should know the basic tools that are to be applied in order to bring that efficiency even in our writing skills. So when we talk about writing, or when we talk about business writing, it talks about using the basics of formal writing, how to apply the formal tone while writing the business letters, what are the ways in which you can bring that efficiency, and how can you practice in order to imbibe those skills. So let us understand through this particular chapter that how we can improve our composition writing skill, paragraph writing skills, and when we talk about the different business messages, what are the four important types of business messages. Let us start with the business message first. So when we talk about the business messages are broadly categorized into four different segments. Point one, it talks about the routine messages. Point two, it talks about the positive messages. Point three, it talks about the negative messages. And point four, it highlights or presents the persuasive messages. So let us understand each one of them in detail. Often you are asked to write the messages. Often you are asked to communicate with your peer members, colleagues, seniors, juniors, or the different level of management, or even with your customer or clients, or with the stakeholders related to the day-to-day activity. For example, if you are in working with a team of sales, or if you are into marketing department, or if you are into finance department, or if you are a technical expert and working as a technical expert with the IT team. So every now and then you may be doing the similar kind of task, but not with the same client, but with different clients. So the kind of message that you're going to write, say for example, when you have received an inquiry, how to respond to that inquiry. If you have received a purchase order, how to fulfill the purchase order, and how do we write the sales letter. If we receive any complaint, how do we handle the complaint, and how are we going to justify that, and how can we satisfy the demand or the need of the customer or client. Similarly, sometimes you will be asked to write recommendation letter. Sometimes you will be asked to look into the process of interview and to draft the cover letter or even the offer letter. Sometimes when the people are not working in sync or in alignment with the vision and mission of the organization, you may have to remove them from the position. So you may have to even write or draft termination letter. So the messages could be varied. When we talk about the messages, the message that you are asked to write often, which is a part and parcel of your day-to-day activity, which is part of your roles and responsibility, which is not asked by other person, but you know it, that it is your responsibility to draft, to craft, and to present the information. Please remember, when we talk about the routine messages, we don't know how often you would be asked to write the routine message. Sometimes you may writing the similar kind of message, maybe 5 to 6 messages in a day. Sometimes in a month, you may not be writing even one single message. So there is no fixed schedule, or you cannot say that if we talk about the routine message every day, these are the number of messages that I have to share, or these are the number of messages that I'm going to deliver. It depends on the requirement of the organization, requirement of the institution, and requirement even of the department. So routine messages are those messages which are generally written based on your roles and responsibility. Nobody else is going to come and command you or order you to write these, because these are part and parcel of your day-to-day life or your day-to-day job role. The next is positive messages. When we talk about positive messages, all those messages wherein we talk about the positivity, wherein we talk about or discuss about the positive approach of the person, like praising someone or acclaiming someone or acknowledging someone, or you are sharing your congratulations or your good wishes to others, so that they can excel, they can feel good, they can also understand that you are there to praise them. So always remember, whenever you write or draft any of the positive messages, they will always encourage people, they will always inspire and motivate people, they will always encourage people to do good, or from good they turn to better and the best. Then comes the negative messages. Negative messages are quite contradictory to the positive messages. In positive messages, when you try to write a positive messages, after reading such message, the person will be enthusiastic, he will be triumphant, and also will overwhelm his in anxiety. But when we talk about the negative messages will downpour, or you can say that it is going to deject the person. It is something which is not liked by the receiver or the recipient of the message. These are the messages wherein it talks about termination, wherein it talks about the poor performance, wherein it talks about the inability, or it also shares the information about your disability of performing that particular job or the activity. So always remember, when people are sharing the information which is not in positive mode or which is negative, the messages that you receive to get or to convey the information related to the negative activity is called as negative messages. Now, persuasive messages are those messages wherein you understand the problem area, you identified what are the root causes of the problem, and then you try to overcome, or you try to bridge the gap, or you try to put your best effort in order to make people understand that if they persuade, if they really start thinking, if they start planning, if they start preparing, if they start practicing, they can improve themselves. Such kind of messages is called as persuasive messages. A teacher writing a letter to his or her student saying that learning cannot happen in a day. It is a regular practice, and if you really want to improve yourself, you have to practice each and every day. Such kind of messages are persuasive messages. Similarly, a fresher, when he or she joins the organization, he may not be knowing each and everything about the organization. So what the person will be doing uh, while doing the responsibilities, or while taking or fulfilling the roles and responsibilities, may commit some mistake. While committing the mistakes, the person, the senior, will not discourage him by saying that you don't even know this. Rather, he will put it in a persuasive form or mode, and try to make the person understand that there are areas where he or she needs improvement. There are areas where they can definitely excel by putting or bringing the newness or effectiveness, or even learning the things in the right way. So the person is persuading, the person is encouraging, the person is again inspiring by making the person realize and understand that these are the areas where you have to really work out. These are the areas where you have to think twice and thrice before taking up the roles and responsibility. Such kind of messages are called as persuasive messages. So, friends, we discussed about 4 different types of messages. Whatever you write, whether it is a memo or notice or a report or proposal, any kind of letter, any kind of composition, any kind of article, please remember the message, the mode, the tone, or the tonality of the message will be broadly classified or categorized into 4 forms. That is, it could be routine messages wherein it would be formal. It could be positive, where the information is encouraging. It could be negative, where the information that you are sharing is discouraging. Or it could be persuasive, wherein the person is trying to show or see the mirror and identify or reflect or ponder upon the areas where the development is necessary in order to grow, in order to sustain in the organization. So that's all in today's class related to business messages. We'll come back with another topic in the next class. Till then, take care of yourself and have a fantastic day ahead.